Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. We've been getting quite a lot of comments asking where the rat videos are. So here's some archive footage, 3 sessions I do believe, I might be wrong though, of us going out to our favourite ratting permission at the poultry farm. We tend to do this normally through the winter months when we get nice dark evenings. The rats really do need a bit of food. You can go shooting in the summer if you want, but you end up stopping out at 2 or 3 in the morning. You can see we've arrived just on dark. We've taken our 0 shots, and as it gets darker still we can hear the rats start to squeak in the bushes. Brev's up first. He's got his Air Arms S510 in 177 launching our favourite Super Mag pellets, NS50 on top. There's my view of him from the other end of the field, quite a way away. He's getting down to business. This is him shooting now. Lines up on his first rat of the evening. Looks like he's missed at first, but no, the pellet's gone straight through its head. Kicked the dirt up behind, destroying the brain, as we like to do it. Just to reiterate, there's no point in shooting things if you can't kill them cleanly. You might as well give up and go home. Bro's knocked that one over just nicely. Shot it through the wires. Slumped down in the hedgerow. Those hedgerows are full of savage thorns, so that's probably one he didn't bother to retrieve. If you know where the pellet's going to go, it should be quite straightforward to slot something that's about 4.5mm through something about 25 to 30mm, i.e. that mesh. And with careful shot placement you can do it quite regularly, as we do. This one's not behind any mesh. Bruv takes a nice shot to the top of its head there. Quite a chubby rat, having a bit of a grooming session out in the grass. You see the old nettle stalks there, tell what time of year it is. And that one's toast. Quick scan about, see if there's any other nosy neighbours, as we like to call them. Lost count at the time we shot rats, and another one's poked its head straight up. Dashing about in that hedgerow. There's no shot on here really. Both just checking it out. Trying to see where the activity is. What we tend to do, scan at distance, then move into our shooting range and try and pick them off. They like a bit of structure, as I've said before. When they sit under sheds like that, they hold nice and still, thinking they're safe. Just had a bit of a nervous kick. Brev rightly carries on scanning. You can see the shot was good. Quick look about. Let's move to another location now and slowly move the crosshairs onto the vertical line of those bars, into the gap. You can see enough of the skull to do the business. Nicely done there, Brev. The other one just come out of its hole. Very often do this. Stand on the edge, survey the territory before they come out fully. They only have to stick their head up. That's all we need to see. That one just kicked into the bushes. Well, stubble really. Again, slipped that one past the post of the shed. Caught one sat in its hole. Here's a second rat behind it, getting kicked in the face. And Brev will take a shot on it now. That's another one down. Surprisingly far in them holes when you go looking for them afterwards. Maybe 6 inches to a foot, believe it or not. And if you can see them, you can shoot them. This one's wandering around, having a mooch. No shot there. It's pointless shooting in the body and having it run off wounded. That just makes you an idiot really, doing things like that. Bit of patience. You either get a shot or you don't. There's no way I would sanction shooting an animal with something that small, middle of the body. Shotgun maybe, but that's not what we're using here. Using silenced air rifles, sub 12 foot-pound, and he was rewarded with his patience and got a shot and did the business. If it had run off, it wouldn't have known you were there and probably would have got it another time. Nothing wrong with that shot. With a quick look about. This one's in the back of a shed. Straight on the headshot. Nicely done there, bruv. It's pitch black in them sheds. The IR light lights them up quite well. Some of these nights we only come out for a couple of hours when we can get the time. And this is why this session's quite a short one. That one's dead as a doornail, wedged in the gap in the boards. And that brings to the end Bro's session. Nice moonlit night. I'm out with him as well. I'm using my Theobin Rapid 177 caliber. And I'm also launching our favourite Super Mag pellets. Do like these. Do a lot of damage. Quite heavy for 177. When they hit hard. I'm in another field. Over from Bro. We've agreed where we should shoot and where we shouldn't shoot. Got to be careful. Safety should be of paramount importance to anyone out shooting, whatever you use, even silenced air rifles. And especially when you start adding more people to the mix. It does pay, and it's also a good habit to get into if you shoot other things like shotguns. It should always be on your mind. But now that's sorted, I'm looking for rats, and you can see there's a sprinkling of chicken food on the floor just in front of that shed. And you see the rat had stuck his head out. Starting to think maybe I should have put it a bit closer as it sits still. This is the beginning of my session. Bro's already started. I think he got into the rats a lot quicker than I did. They're a bit twitchy here. Sometimes if you hang around a little bit, they'll stick their heads out. There comes a point where you have to give up and come back to it a bit later on maybe. It's always good to have a look around and work out where they are. Most busy. Sometimes they'll be out amongst the livestock. See the ducks are up, wandering around. It's pretty typical behaviour for the ducks. Get one or two rats wandering in amongst them. See some eyes in the distance there. I think there's some more ducks, to be honest. They're running in and out of these hedgerows, hiding behind the wire, thinking they're safe. I caught that one behind the ear. It is dead. Just about to see it over the top. And that's how dense the thorns are. Makes it pretty difficult to retrieve any dead rats. They tend to get left in there. They're very often a lot further back than you think as well. There's another one I failed to actually shoot on film. Got the camera on afterwards, you can see his toes moving. Another one, pellet went straight through the mesh, hit him in the head. See the suicide ducks. It's like kids really, start watching telly and they stick their heads in front. So I've moved in a bit closer. I'm still getting livestock wandering in front. This is more like it. And I dry fire. It should never happen with the Theobin. But never mind. Just wasted a bit of air. There's definitely activity around these ducks. So sometimes it pays to linger and scan a little while rather than just walking around. My apologies for the noise. Me panning my rifle around in my sticks. Not getting any sort of shot there. There's one rat, there's very often more. Seems more like it. Sit still, son. Didn't try fire then, did I? Pellet a streak out and hit it straight between the eyes, into the head. A little bit of a wave. Pretty obvious the shot was good. You can tell by the reaction, bit of experience. That's just nervous activity from the brain being shut down. And the spine neurons doing a bit of kicking. Happy with that shot. I tend to use my zoom a lot more than most. I do like a zoom in and shot placement job, where you can pick out exactly where you want the shot to go. Through the wire, right into the side of its head. There's another one. It's in the hedgerow. I'm guessing it's probably about 8 feet wide. Got a fence either side. 2 sets of wires, some big wire that you'd use for sheep. Some chicken mesh. The rats tend to dig under from out of there. They've got lots of holes around the roots. They've even shot rabbits in these places as well before. On for another wander back up to where I first started. Top of the field. The trouble with ducks is when you're walking around the patch, they tend to be up and about. They don't sit still like the chickens. You tend to push them around. Bit of a pain really, but never mind. Here we go, one sticking his eyes out. Just about get a shot on between them eyes if I can just skim the bottom of that shed. Which is precisely what I did do. Looks like I'm having a mag change. 17 shots in the mag. Making a pig's ear roll of it by the sound of it. Getting the ducks wrapping about. I've spotted another target in this shed. You can see the eye. It's the obvious shot. When they're quartering towards you like that, same as a squirrel. The eye is a good target. Pellet will be through it in a fraction of a second and out the back of the head before it even knew what hit it. That's another one I won't be retrieving. Have a quick scan about, just in case there's any more. You will see I missed one on the far left, right at the end of this clip. They come out of that hedgerow, run over to the shed, steal the chicken food, and there's one just on the left here, just about to see it. I missed it on the night. A bit difficult sometimes looking at that little screen. With that sigh of exasperation. I hate it when they do that. It's almost like they know they're being looked at with a scope. There's another set of eyes, it's the same one. Oh, and again, a little laugh. I think I might just hover here for a while. See if he sticks his head back up. Rather annoying when they do that. As soon as I turn the thing off, he did stick his head back up again. Nothing wrong with that shot. Just skim that fine dirt on the top. Pretty sure I got it by the reaction. Give it a second one. Let's be on the safe side. In hindsight, I didn't need to do that. Very often you shoot them in them holes. The back legs kick violently. And they'll shoot out the hole like a missile. He's going to have a little drink. What's wrong with that shot? The mud-coated rat now. A bit suspicious sometimes when they don't move a lot. Does happen on occasions, but the ones that don't kick tend to be the ones we look at more, because they're not dead generally. Sometimes they are. I'll give that a good look, just in case. The impact sounded pretty good anyway. It went down pretty hard. It's another wonder. Another head sticking out. Not sure if I got that one or not, to be honest. My favourite pallets. I do like a pallet, especially when you're rat shooting. You get up under them and sit there quite still. Yes, there is a lot of mess, but it's not food. And if you tidied it up, they'd still be coming here to rob the chickens of their food, which is high nutritional value. Good for the chickens, and the rats seem to know it's good for them too. Much better than foraging for berries. And that's what draws them in. They get in the cages with the livestock. They will attack the young birds and kill them if they can. Another dry fire. So another go. That's better. That's why a silenced air rifle is a great tool, and ideally suited for shooting around barns, short range and livestock, taking out pests cleanly, the minimum of fuss, positive identification and a clean kill. But here's a rabbit sat in a hedgerow. I'm going to shoot this one for the pot, and again, same problem. With just the one magazine it was. Nothing wrong with that. 177 pellet. Knocks Mr. Bunny down cleanly. I have since rectified this problem. Just seem to be catching in a few places. I have 3 magazines, and at 17 shots per mag, that means I've got 54 shots at my disposal before I need to refill, which is very good when you're out rat shooting. And there's Bro on his travels. Like I said before, he'll stick to his part and I'll stick to mine. Sometimes we'll swap over. We generally build up a picture as we're going around where the most activity seems to be happening. Have a bit of a conference. That's what we do. Put the sticks up, start scanning known areas. I've taken a jolly over his side now. It's at the side of one of the sheds. I haven't got a shot there. It'd be ever so easy to shoot into those nettles and hit the body of one of them rats. I think there's 2 there, but I wouldn't be targeting any vital zones, so the chances of killing them wouldn't be as high as if I was targeting the head like I normally do. The evening's getting on now and we've given up. It's a short session, like I said before. Sometimes we see a lot more, sometimes we don't. That one's down in the bushes, too far to get. I'm just about to take a photo of it. You can see it without the light on it there, just about make it out. There's another picture of them thorns, pretty savage things. There's one in the hole. I tend to dig under the edges of the buildings. That's the muddy one. Usually get quite a lot of blood out of these rats. Claps that one back into his hole. There's our collection. Bucket each and a bunny. So that's the end of one of the sessions. This is another night. We're using exactly the same equipment as we used last time. Pretty much the Theoban Rapid 177 and the Air Arms S510 177 are our ratting rifles of choice. We generally use the flat-headed Super Mags. They're heavy and they pack a bit of a punch. They're perfectly accurate over this sort of distance. We're shooting for 15 to 25 yards. Might occasionally push it out to 40. Usually drop the crosshairs level with the top of their head. You see these chickens are in perfectly good health. Despite the mess around the place, they're well looked after, well fed and watered. In all honesty, I think some of the mess around is good for them in a lot of ways. It gives them something to run around through the nettles. Unfortunately, the setup allows for rats to hide in them as well. And that's Bro doing what he does best. Sniping the rats as they come out for feed. Quick scan about. You never know when you can see another eye. There we go. Just like that. One pops into view. slowly gets the crosshairs onto its head. Nicely taken double brow. Scout about. Is that another eye? Or was that the one he shot? That is another eye, but too slow there. The other one's kicked into the nettles. You can quite clearly see it was dead when he shot it. Old propane cylinder. It's more like it. Nah. Sometimes when on a mission, they don't sit still. That's why structure and food are good draws for them. They either sit there scoping out the world or sit there feeding. Give you a good shot. Just like that. I do like the air arms rifles. Keep getting asked what rifles I would recommend to anyone. Air arms S410 and 510. Brilliant rifles. Good workhorses. Not pellet fussy, or don't seem to be. Very good design, very good mechanically. There we go. Thought Bro had missed him. Trouble is when they keep moving their head, it's difficult sometimes to get a shot on. He's not taking the shot because he wasn't sure of it. When they're bobbing about, it's not worth it really. But on the move, so that's something. This was having a good sniff about. There's no shot there really. It's not sitting still. Where there's when there's normally more. You see another one going the other way. Watched them for quite a few years now, these rats. Watch their behaviour. Follow certain paths. They just pop out when you least expect them. If you hover there long enough, you very often get a shot. Sometimes you can lose patience. And other times you're spoiled for choice. What would you do with this lot? Pick the closest target, I would. I think you might have missed that one. Once they're in a big pile like that, remember the pellet gets shot. You get a whack on the head, and the other ones all run for it. So it's sat out in the open. That's more like it. Nice like that. There we go, right in the ear. And they got their head up in the air. As soon as you fire, they can always pull it back. Fur rats sat down, hunched up like the squirrels do, if possible. Makes shooting them much easier. And this one's come out from under that shed, just edging forward a bit at a time. Sniffing at the food, gets rolled on its back. The smell of that food must waft under those sheds. The moment you put a bit by them, rats tend to come out. I tend to put the food quite a bit closer than that. You don't actually have to have them come out, and you have to be able to see them. So the tendency is to put the food just inside the edge of the structure, let them come out to you a bit, but not actually leave. They feel safe, and they often pay the price of sitting still for too long. There's quite a bit of rat activity. Those nettles are a pain. As you can see in the previous bit of video, it was in the winter months. Just getting more towards summer. You can tell by the thick patches of nettles. Another good double by the look of it. Took it straight between the eyes, that one did. Dead under the pile of, I think it's board, I think. Look like quite small rats. Stick the head out a little bit. The S510 is a very quiet rifle. I do believe he's got the Virac silencer on it, which is one of the best in the business, very quiet. Quick look around, then move to another location. You spot a rat having a scratch by the nettles. Watch this for a shot. Hardly looks like he shot it then. He's definitely hit it. See the reaction. It's having to lie down, not because it's tired. So 177's pellets hit it in the head. I'm not sure if he hit that one or not. It's difficult sometimes. Microphone on the recording device didn't pick up a whack. You can see it kicking now. So that was a pellet straight through the head. You can see it kick the dirt up behind. Another great little double. Well picked out. Just watching it. Doing what I do. Shuffle to get a better angle down the side of the shed when you realise you haven't quite got the one looking down the boards. As soon as you turn the thing off, the rat will stick his head out. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Just moved on the left that. And that one's lighting down for a reason. He did what I've done. Failed to turn the recorded device on correctly until you've shot it. Shoots it again though, just to be on the safe side. Another one sticking at the nettles. Another one rolled on its side. Nice bit of helicopter tail there. It's more like it, quite happy with that. And when I say quite happy, I'm quite happy the rat is dead, but it's not alive. It's very indicative of a good head wound. He's not got a shot there between the bars properly, so he's had a bit of a shuffle. He's doing the bro shuffle sideways. And the opportunity's gone now, unfortunately. There's no point taking a shot if it's going to ricochet off the bars. Another scratcher. Another dead rat. Which just kicked into the nettles. Not a big deal really. That's Bro's total for the evening. It's a solo mission that night. This is me on a solo mission, straight down to it. You can tell by the sound of the rifle. It's a good old rapid. Probably much the same result as Bro's Air Arms S510. Caught that one running in and out to the feeder. Some of the bowls been spilt chicken food. They capitalise on that. It's having a dance about, but I'm quite happy with the shot. Hit it straight in the head. Quick look about. He's got one under a shed, as I said before. I do like a good bit of structure. Straight on the shot, so the pellet goes straight down into them, depositing all its energy. I give it a second shot there. I thought I might have hit it a bit low, but I think the pellet's gone down into the body and hit everything else on the way. Blood just pumps out of that one. Pays to keep an eye on them sometimes, especially when they're under structure and you've shot one. They tend to scratch and kick, rattle the woodwork, get the attention of another rat. Have a look, a bit like this one. Made no mistake there. Quite pleased with that double. It's helpful if you get an area where you can just scan around and pick them off. And then once you've shot them, move on. See a bit of activity where shot that first rat and those last two, if that makes any sense. See the eyes gleaming with the IR light. It's a dead giveaway. It's more like it. With a straight on headshot. This is what I mean about when you're walking around a field, you start to work out where the activity seems to be happening. Or the raptivity. Sometimes they'll kick out, sometimes they'll kick back under the shed. If you've been digging a lot in there, you'll Never find the rat unless you want to lie down in the wet mud. It's probably full of chicken muck, rat feces and urine, which is a no-go. They can stay under the shed. And this one's right down the bottom of the field. Long way away, far too far to shoot. But if I know they're out and walking around down there, that's the direction I'll be headed in next. Check the foreground. Make sure there's nothing in between. Then I'll tend to walk slowly towards the activity, stopping and looking as I go. Doesn't appear to be much going on there. There's definitely a rat behind that tussock of grass. There we go, there's another one. Doing rat things. By the time I got there was no joy, so I came back up to where I had those few rats before. There comes another one, just like the other one. That'll do. Straight in the side of the head. Rather handily, it's kicked itself out. That'll do. Here's one that's come right out into the field. Try and cock the rifle first, eh? Now it's wandered behind the back of that bowl. Rather irritatingly, but it didn't seem to be panicked. We waited a little while, it came back out. Straight on headshot. Just a bit of patience. I never moved. All I did was turn the machine off. By the machine I mean the mini digital recording device that I use, and so does Bro. Attaches to the feed off the camera on the NS50. Moved in a bit closer on this one, I've seen some activity. See the top of its head there. I lingered a bit waiting for it to kick out. Just about make it out there. Just twitching a little bit. Went over and found it was dead as a doornail. Onwards and upwards. Walked into this field. I think I must have spooked this rat. Having said that, it's run so far and then stopped. It's obviously not spooked it that badly. Yeah, the click of doom there. It presents a nice quartering towards me headshot. Show me the side of its head so I can stick a pellet in it. Bit of helicopter tail. That'll do. With a long range scanning shot. See rats mooching around in the bottom of the field. Beyond those feeders, which is what I started to look out for in years one. Just about make its head out. I could see its eye and its ear there. So I decided to shoot through the nettle. That range, there won't be a problem, as you can see. Went straight through and killed that one. Moved down the field a bit closer to that other rat. It's come towards me a bit now. I'm looking for an opportune moment. If it'll sit still. It's getting closer and closer by the second. I knew it was a long range shot. And by long range I mean around about 40 yards. That's why all the crosshairs were directly on top of its head. And it seems to have disappeared from view, but I can tell you for a fact it was in one of those great big holes that clawed out by the chickens. Dead as a doornail. This one keeps darting in and out. Very annoyingly. Here he comes again. And I'm too slow. He's giving me the run around there. Unfortunately for him, I was quicker on the trigger than I was on the mini DVR recorder. And yet another one I missed the record option. You can quite clearly see the aftermath. Nothing much to say about that. I haven't already said about rats Quite comfortable under structure. Good headshot that. Or is it? Do I want to take another shot? Maybe I will. I think it was in hindsight, but you never know on the night. You've got to take these decisions. It's only a pellet. I've got plenty of them. That's what you get for trying to be sneaky. It's one of the best things about using night vision equipment and IR lights. It glows off those eyes. It shows them up, even when you wouldn't pick out their body shape very easily indeed. You can see this one kick a bit easier than the last one. The last one I shot under the hedge, dropped in a hole to drag him back out. This one's got his head down, chowing down, having a sniff about, blissfully unaware of my presence, and wait for that head to come up. Absolutely nothing to gain by shooting it anywhere other than the head. It's like a little tank pushing its way through the grass. It's often a dead giveaway if you go to a place and you see these little runs in the grass. They always seem to frequent the same spots, following the scent of other rats until they make quite obvious lines in the grass to let you know they're there. Then you can pay a visit with some night vision equipment like we do. There we go, I can see his eye now and his ear. Just enough of it to stick a pellet in. That's another one that's dropped in a bit of a dip. Most definitely a dead rat though. Here's another one sticking his head out. I think I've hit that one through the neck. It's dropped it pretty cleanly. Might have even been the head actually. But it's a dead rat nonetheless. Another one on the mooch. No opportunity given. This is more like it. Click of doom. And then a pellet to the head. Pan back now so I can scan a bit easier. Here's another one sat out. Careful aim. Drop a pellet on it. It's a relatively windless night. I'm going to worry about that. Don't tend to come out on too windy a night. But then the weather started to change. Got misty rain. I broke my sticks. Snapped them straight through the middle there. Shot the last part of my evening with the ad hoc repair of electrical tape. Here's some of the pictures I took on the way round. A few of the rats I shot. Blood everywhere. These are all picked up with our grabbers. We don't touch them with our bare hands. Put in a bucket and thrown on a bonfire for being burned by the owner. Then we use an alcohol wash on our hands. Keep them nice and clean. You can see the grabber there, we picked them up. I hope you enjoyed the rat session. There's the fire that they all get burnt on. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.